sugar here?
No, we'll see.
Hello everybody, this is Dom from Upstate Supernatural. I'd like to thank everybody for viewing in, and I have some really awesome guests that we're going to have on for tonight. I'll have them introduce themselves in just a second. Don't forget to check out other shows that we do as well, and you can also find their YouTube channel right through Paraglobal TV on YouTube as well. If you look under Paranormal Productions down at the bottom, you can find them as well. But without further ado, here you guys are. If you guys would like to introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Deadgar Winter.
And I'm Celeste, Sorceress Celeste. We are from Deadgar's Dark Coffin Classics.
And what kind of things do you guys do? If you'd like to explain a little bit about that.
You want to take it away, Celeste?
We're basically, we started out as a horror host, so we like to show old or bad or black and white or independent movies that are not copyrighted, and then we break in, we talk about the movie, we do little fun skits in between, some magic and have some guests on, and that's kind of where it started out. We ended up branching out into a lot more, doing more events and working with a lot more bands and local community events like that.
Yeah, it's we just basically, it's just like she said, any movie that's in public domain or any movie that we get the rights to show, we've been kind of venturing into the independent film market. We've been getting some independent filmmakers on, and they've been giving us their shows to do, and which is really opening up a lot and giving people a chance to see some of these independent filmmakers, because some of them really do some fantastic work. They just don't get the, they don't get the media coverage like your big producers like Universal and stuff.
And if you guys could give a shout out for your channel. Actually, you guys have multiple channels. I'm pretty sure you have 2 different channels. If you'd like to give a shout out for that.
Yeah, actually, we like to give a shout out for KTV Channel 14 in Kenosha. They're public access. We're also on in Racine, Wisconsin, on Car 25, which is actually Bell TV. Also, we got MATA Channel 14 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. They actually show us about between 3-4 nights a week up there. We got a pretty big fan base up in Milwaukee. And then we're also out in Jefferson County, Wisconsin, on 987. And we're basically, they put us in a mix out there, so we never know when we're on the channel out there.
And we also are on YouTube, so we have 2 channels right now. One of them is mostly for like clips and events, and that's under Deadgar Winter. So if you search for him, you'll find it. And the other one's under my name, Celeste Parker. Or if you look for Deadgar's Dark Coffin Classics, I think you'll find both of them. But that's where we put our full-length shows right now. So it's a 2-hour show every time we show a movie. And then whatever we happen to be doing that day, there's sometimes footage from events, our special guests. Sometimes it's just the 2 of us having fun.
Yes. Well, we also want to give a shout out to our other co-host that she's actually on location. We're kind of doing something a little different that a lot of horror hosts don't really do. And we promote rock bands. And what she's doing right now is she's on location. She's out interviewing different bands and stuff.
Yeah.
And then she sends us the footage back, and we put it on our show. So, and she'll be popping back in from time to time. But we want to give a shout out to Victoria Bathory.
Yes.
She's our better half.
Yes, she's the one that's not here today because she is out doing this location work with bands. So, but she's definitely the other member of our team.
Yes, we're the close trio. But right now, me and Celeste are holding down the fort.
Now, what was your inspiration to start doing what you guys are doing? What caused you guys to think this up?
Actually, it started back a long time ago. For me, it started out with watching Svengoolie way back in the late 60s and through the 70s and 80s. He was just, my family kind of liked watching horror movies on Saturday night, and we'd get together, make a pizza, have some soda, and turn on creature features, and then Saturday afternoons I used to sit and watch Svengoolie. So that's basically what inspired me. So
Yeah, and I just love horror movies. I love the people. It's just like a great community of people. I love horror conventions, so it all kind of went together. Horror hosting, I think, is a lot of fun. It's just something that's kind of a throwback to like those, like he said, family get-togethers that people would do together. So we kind of try to keep it really fun, and then it's a good experience.
yeah, we have a good time. We love what we're doing, and like I said, we try to keep it family oriented so the whole entire family can watch us. But we also kind of have some of that adult content, read between the
Yeah, we
lines.
push it a little bit sometimes because, we're a little edgier than a lot of horror hosting, just in the fact that we like to have like a lot of like rock and roll bands on, stuff like that, like do a little bit more than just showing old movies and talking about them. We like to go a little step further and bring in people that we want to support, like our local artists, and give them a venue to promote what they're doing, promote their shows, promote the band. And we really like to, art people from our local community a lot.
Now, for the events and for certain like conventions or expos, that type of stuff, do you guys usually do them locally or do them kind of nationally wherever you can get to?
Oh, yeah, it's been really. We When I first started the show, started out like okay, we're having fun doing this, and we became more like a family, when we're doing this. But it's gotten to a point now where the people have seen how much fun we're having on the show doing it, that we just got a major following, and it seems like people want us everywhere. We can't. There's not enough schedule. There's not enough days in the month for us to be booked. I mean, it seems like everybody wants us, everywhere to show up for their events, and it's really whatever. Like the whole month of October, we're completely booked up. Being it's Halloween season, and we try to keep it around the local area, around the Midwest,
Yeah.
because that's our big fan base. But it's getting to a point where now that we're on YouTube, we're getting fans all over the country, and they want us everywhere. They want us out in California, they want us in Florida, Georgia. They want us to come out to Crypticons, and they want us to come to the Pensacon in Florida.
Yeah,
It's
it's definitely like right now, we mostly do events locally. We've traveled to a few places and we're planning a little more travel. Since we do all of this ourselves right now, we don't have a lot of sponsors at this moment. It's difficult to really go like some of the big conventions, other places, but we're hoping in the future. We're sort of picking up momentum. So, we have hopes of doing a lot more in the future.
Yeah, our main goal is actually that we want to get syndicated.
Yeah.
We want to, and then we can pick up our sponsorships and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
we travel to some of these places and visit the people.
Now, I actually, I mean, I've done a little bit of research, as you guys were going to be a guest. Can you explain a little bit about the Dead Girls? I know you have the thing on your website where people that are following you, and if they're interested in kind of being a part of it, nationally or globally, they could apply to be, one of Deadgar's Dead Girls.
Okay, well, let's take over on this because I gotta go adjust something here real quick. So I'll let her explain to you what the Dead Girls are.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, Dead Girls is something that other co-host Victoria and I came up with. In 2014 at Horrorama, we were joking about being Deadgar's Dead Girls, and how it just kind of caught on. Like, we're the Dead Girls, but there are other Dead Girls all over. They're basically female fans of Deadgar, and they help us promote the show. So wherever they are, talk whatever venue they can to do talking about the show, sharing links. We have girls in Milwaukee, in Kenosha, just the local area mostly. But there's girls in other countries who have been like, we love the show, we want to be a Dead Girl. So, sometimes we'll send them some merch or whatever we can do at that time, or just send them links and they'll share stuff just to, get things out there. And also cross-promote people. Like, sometimes we have girls that do like burlesque or, something like that. They want to get a venue to, we'll cross promote each other. So we'll share their stuff and help support them, and they'll help support the show. So that's basically who the Dead Girls are. And there are also people that fill in at events. Say Victoria and I can't be at an event, then they can be there and help support Deadgar if one of us isn't. He's not there by himself. So it's kind of something that we do. As sort of a network of girls that we all, support Deadgar, support the show, and help out.
Much better.
No, I think that's pretty cool. Like, it gives you kind of a network of individuals in case something happens with everybody else. I think that's really awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic having these girls around me. I mean, the energy is just unbelievable. I mean, I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. We're tight. We're like a family.
Yeah.
And when we introduce a new dead girl onto the show or into our, into like our group and stuff that help us out with different events, we take them in with open arms.
Yeah, it's just really, we try to keep everything really fun, and there's no backstage drama. It's all like, come on, have fun, be on a show, and whatever, talk about whatever project you love, whatever you're passionate about. This is your chance to, get to know people and get to talk to them and get to find out about cool stuff that's going on.
Another thing that what I like is I like to kind of push the girls a little bit, kind of push the dead girls a little bit, to go out and do some modeling and stuff. Like Celeste has done some pinup modeling here, here and there, and push that, because they're definitely talented, and I'd like to see them do more.
Now, actually, a question just came in the chat as well. What is your favorite movie, per se? Whether you've shown it on your show or just favorite movie in general. And I know it's tough because there's always plenty. There's always a multitude of one. Feel free, feel free to share that. I'm sure everybody would love to know that.
What's yours, Celeste?
Oh, it's got to be by far Sleepaway Camp. I love American Psycho too, but Sleepaway Camp is my movie. I have a tattoo from the movie. I just love it. It's so much fun to me.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yep, mine would have to be, I'm going to go old school here because this is what I grew up with, and I'm going to have to go with the old Universal classic movies. The Abbott and Costello.
Yeah.
Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. That's my favorite because it's got most of the Universal original horror monsters in there. Bela Lugosi, Frankenstein, Lon Chaney Jr. Yeah, I mean, you can't. It's got all the original horror. The guys that actually started this whole stuff, and I just can't stop watching that movie, especially with anything with Abbott and Costello.
Yeah, and it's like the love for those old movies is why we're here and doing what we're doing. So.
Exactly. I mean, sometimes I look at, when me and Celeste are doing a show, sometimes I look at me and Celeste as the Abbott and Costello here, She's always bossing me around.
Well, I remember, as I was growing up in the 90s and so forth, I can't even remember the guy's name, but they would always, it'd be late night on like ABC or NBC, and they would play, Night of the Living Dead or Day of the Dead. It'd be a little bit of a spurt of a guest, and then playing the, the horror movie. And your channel definitely reminds me of that, and that's, I love it. I love seeing that style brought back. I thought it was an excellent style.
Yeah, I think a lot of areas have their like local horror host. So, with the internet and stuff, they're starting to get more national attention, where you can be like a national horror host instead of just a local horror host, and we think that's great. Like, we love what we do. We grew up watching all those old horror hosts like Svengoolie or your other friend, and all these people that we just thought that's like looks like so much fun, like Elvira, people who do this, and it's like. That's kind of what we had in mind, but we wanted to just change the format a little bit and do a little thing a little bit different, do it our own way.
Yeah, we definitely wanted to change the format. We wanted to do something that, other horror hosts, that are sticking to the comedy, horror and stuff, and we were like, well, let's stick a little bit further. Let's stretch the limits here, let's bring on some bands. Let's have acoustic jams. Let's just spread ourselves thin and go all over the place. And
Yeah,
you
basically
know,
whatever comes to our head, we're
yeah,
like, yeah, let's do it. Like any
yeah,
one of the three of us or anybody really working on the show, come up with an idea, we'll
yeah,
throw it in there, see how, bounce it around between us, be like, yes, that sounds like fun, let's do it. I mean, we've done some
yeah.
crazy stuff. We had a show where, I made a potion that went bad. It was our April Fool's show, and we all switched characters. So I became Deadgar for the show, and he became Victoria, and she became me. And I don't think anyone else has ever done that, as a horror
Right.
host before. And it was really funny, and it was different. And we had a lot of fun with it.
We heard that from a lot of producers. A lot of producers are like, we've never seen horror hosts pull that off, but you guys did it.
Yeah.
And we were like, yeah, it was a one-time thing.
It was. He does not need to be seen
Yeah.
in a dress ever again.
Yeah,
But
Decker doesn't fit in a dress very well. But yeah, I mean, we do crazy stuff. I mean, we might get an urge to, let's grab the cameraman, let's go to Menards and pick up some chainsaws, videotape us.
yeah, we just have fun with whatever we're doing at the moment. Whatever sounds like fun or a good idea, we
Yeah.
just kind of run with it.
Victoria Bathory, she's usually a crazy one with that. We got a
Yeah.
couple. We got a couple of clips of her walking into Menards, getting a cart, and she was filling the cart up with chainsaws and axes and picks and stuff like that. People are looking at her in full costume, going like, "What is up with that girl?"
You don't want to mess with that one.
Yeah.
Now,
So, yeah, we.
what other projects are you guys up and coming with? I mean, I know you're doing all this and you're trying to get more syndicated with the networks and so forth. But are there other projects you guys are working on, like maybe a film of your own, or different things like that?
Actually, we're it's in the talks right now. We're trying to decide what we're doing. We were thinking about releasing a rated R movie, just more for adults. We were going to show like maybe a movie like Dracula 80, stuff that we can't show on TV.
Yeah.
That's got like a little bit more violence, probably a little bit of more like maybe some nudity or something. And we're just going to release a rated R film out to our fans and friends and stuff. And of course, there'd be no nudity or anything on our part. It's just being in the movie,
Right.
a movie that we can't show on regular TV. Like Dracula 80's got a lot of, swearing and stuff like that. So, and I've noticed a couple other horror hosts have done that, and they've had great success at doing it. So everybody's been asking, hey, Deadgar, when are you guys going to release an adult rated movie? So,
Yeah, right now we're basically kind of rolling with whatever comes our way. Like our project is right now the show. Like that's
Yeah.
what we stick to. Every week we film an episode. Basically rain or shine, we've got a new episode playing. So that's, a lot of new episodes a year. So that takes up a lot of time. But we also try to fit in as many events as we can. When the bands we support play, we go to see them play every time we can. Go there, support it, promote their shows, get them on the show talking about it. Whatever we can do, then we'll have, like he said, independent filmmakers come on and they'll talk about their movies and show stuff, or we work with artists. So basically we're kind of rolling with whatever comes our way at this moment. We don't really have any, we do events, but we try to promote it. We don't have any concrete plans to move in a different direction than the horror hosting show right now.
actually, with the haunting season coming up, we do have a couple things planned. I know the first weekend in October we're going to be at Dungeons of Doom in right across the state line here in Illinois, in Zion, Illinois. It's supposed to be one of the top-rated haunts in Illinois, and we're friends with a lot of people that work there. So the owners were like, "Hey, Deadgar, we got to bring you guys on."
Yeah, and it's
So
those are really fun for us. We love haunted houses. We like
Yeah.
just going there, and we did one show there, and it was a really fun. So, we just really get into anything like that, and of course, Halloween season's the perfect time for it.
right, and then plus we got the second weekend in October. We're going to be down in St. Louis. We're going to be taping a live show at the Darkness. It's supposed to be the country's scariest, most elaborate haunt, and they invited us down there for the second weekend in October.
Yeah,
to,
we're pretty excited about that.
Yeah, shoot a show down there with Larry Freitner, and we're really excited about that.
Just so any viewers know, when do you guys usually have your shows coming out? Is it usually like a regular time every week? For when your new show is coming out?
On the TV channels, yes. For the YouTube, sometimes it can get complicated or things will get delayed depending on what events we have. If we talk about an event event in the show or something, or we have to wait till all the channels show it first. So that one I would suggest subscribing, because sometimes we put out, a new movie every week, and then sometimes it takes a couple weeks and put up two or three at a time, something like that. So I would say subscribe, and you'll get a notice whenever we do a new show on YouTube right now.
Yeah, because we are contracted through the TV stations, and we're actually not allowed to show any movies on YouTube until they've played on the TV stations.
Yeah.
And right now, the way it's running is Kenosha is our main station, so our weekly show goes up there, and then from there it goes to Racine, and then from Racine it goes to Milwaukee.
Right.
So after it plays in Milwaukee, then we throw it on YouTube. So it's usually about 2 weeks behind.
Yeah, so I would say either keep checking back on the YouTube channel or subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want to see our new episodes. We're always doing something fun, new, crazy, whatever it is. We'll guarantee you're going to have a movie that'll appeal to you here and there at least. They're a lot of fun, and we do a lot of different genres. We don't just stick to old horror. We do some sci-fi, branched out a little bit, but it's mostly old horror, but then the sci-fi ones are really fun too for me.
Yeah, sci-fi are awesome.
I love anything like ghost paranormal type movies. I really like those. So a little bit less like horror, more like psychological or paranormal horror. Supernatural, I think.
Speaking of which, do you guys have a paranormal story? Like, is there something? I know another group, actually last week, Friday Night Mansion, they came on, and I've talked to them personally. They're personal friends of mine. And they do, a Friday Night Mansion, and they said they feel there's kind of paranormal things happening during that because of what they're doing, that the energy gets rise from it. I'm curious if the same thing occurs for you guys while you're doing your shows.
Absolutely. Yes, there was an instance we were taping a show out in Grays Lake at Realm of Terror, and our cameraman actually picked up an EVP on our camera while we were taping a show, and it actually happened right before we were, he rolls a few seconds of footage before we actually go live for each segment, and all of a sudden we heard this. And the camera picked it up, but there was nobody talking. We were waiting, and it whispered something, and it was like, wow, and that was one instance. I don't know. That's about the only time. We've never had anything happen, have we?
No, we need to have more paranormal investigators on our show. See if anything, we don't necessarily pick up anything while we film, but I think it'd be cool to have someone on and talk about it and see if that would attract more energy here.
Yeah. Do we need more ghosts down in our dungeon?
Can't have too many.
Yeah. Things go booming down here.
Is there any other stories that maybe you guys personally had paranormal wise? Like ghost stories that have ever happened to you?
I'll let you. I have what?
I haven't actually had too much, and I was kind of disappointed because that's ghost hunting and everything is like a real passion of mine. I went to this one old factory. It was built in the, I think, early 1900s or late 1800s, and it was all decrepit, and there was leaks dripping down, and there was no lights. You had to go with cell phone, and then we were in this basement of this place, and all of a sudden we were leaving, and it was just this feeling me and the people in my group, we just started walking faster, we were we need to get out now. It's just one of those eerie feelings. And I know friends of mine have seen ghosts in that building. They walked past and there was a window, there was a guy looking out the window. So it was also in a factory that was currently operational. They were working there, so they went back to ask him what he was doing there, and there was nobody there. They walked past the room, turned back around to go in, and there was nobody there. So things like that, but not that much has happened to me personally.
Well, I guess you gotta be a vampire to have stuff happen to you. I don't know. It seems like it just flags to me. I don't know. I was at a friend's house, and he was talking about him and his wife has been experiencing some weird stuff going on in the house, and it's been getting worse and worse. And I was over one day, and we were sitting there talking, and it got really, really cold in the kitchen. I mean, it just to the point where when you get real cold, you feel like your nose is going to start dripping. And I told him, I said, well, something's definitely happening here. And we no sooner said that, and also a black shadow just went streaking across And I was like, wow, did you see that? And he's like, yeah. He goes, that happens all the time. And then another time, they were opening up a bottle of wine, same house, different day. They opened up a bottle of wine. We were over there to watch some movies one night, and they put the wine cap back on, and the cork actually flew out the bottle and came over and hit me in the chest. And it was almost impossible for it to go at that angle. It had to come up and then shoot a 90-degree angle and come over and it hit me right in the chest. I'm like, okay, that was really creepy. But yeah, I also seen a little ghost girl out in La Crosse. That was a long time ago. And then we kind of researched it and found out that down that Indian trail, it was actually called Indian Trail Road, going into Onalaska Bay. And we researched it and found out there was a little girl that was murdered there and thrown in the swamp.
Wow.
And it was one foggy night. We were going up to a camp to do some ice fishing, and she was standing on the side of the road, and I noticed her, seen her, and then boom, she's gone.
That's creepy.
Yeah, and that just ran chills down my spine. I was like, wow. That's what I decided to research it, And we found out that, yeah, well, there's the same girl, it looked just like the girl that we researched. So that really kind of creeped me out. Can a vampire get creeped out?
Apparently.
Well, they do say that the more you open yourself up to it, the more you look for it, the more you try to research it, the more attuned you become. You're basically making your senses become stronger for the paranormal stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think out of the experiences I had, that had to be the creepiest one, because it was right there. It looked like a real person standing on the side of the road, and then all of a sudden she just poof. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, I've heard multiple different things through all the interviews that I've done where people have seen it looks like a normal person to them, and then they look and they don't have legs. Like they'll look down and see that there's no legs on the person. That was one story. I actually saw something the other night. I was talking to my friend Nikki, and we were just chatting, and all of a sudden I watched a child blue, like very blue. I could describe how he looks. I could tell you what hair color he had, and I just watched him turn, and I was like, what the hell? It was crazy. That was right through Skype, It's
wow.
insane.
That's pretty crazy.
I actually went down to St. Augustine one year. A previous show that I was on before I broke off and did my own show. We did a Deadgar on location. Went down to St. Augustine, Florida, and I did an interview down there with a haunted hearse company, and he took us on this tour. And they took us over to St. Augustine Lighthouse, which is supposed to be the most haunted lighthouse in the United States. And then he took us to a couple back in the alleyways where the old quarters were, the French corridors and stuff. And he stopped us at this one house, and he said, yeah, this house was owned by a lady. It was called Mary Evans. And what she did was she kind of took the sick and the poor and stuff and did experiments on them. And if they worked, they worked. If they didn't, well, they died. And sadly to say, most of them were kids.
That's horrible.
And I said, wow. And he normally doesn't take people to this spot because of the gruesome story, but I just happened to take the camera, and I took a picture of it through the window into the room. And when I came back, I was like, oh, I showed it, and I was like, the picture's no good, because it's got a bunch of squiggly lines in it. So then we blew the picture up just to look at it, and the lines actually spelled out Mary E.
Huh.
Wow.
In cursive. So we went, I was like, okay, all right, maybe we got something here. So we took it to a paranormal investigator, and which is very accredited for some of her work, Candy Shackins from Kenosha Paranormal. And she looked at it, she goes, there's definitely something going on there. And then we took it up to Wisconsin Paranormal and had them look at it, and they said, yeah, you definitely got something there. Something was trying to make contact with you when you took the picture. So, yeah. it's kind of creepy. I still got the picture to this day.
Yeah, I'm actually highly curious. I mean, with what you guys do for your shows and the events that you do, if it would almost be like an era queue for stemming, activity at a haunted location. I'm actually kind of curious if it would cause the activity to rise because maybe they would remember, maybe a movie from back then or,
Right.
something like that.
Yeah.
That'd be an interesting thing to try experiment with.
I know I had a paranormal group on a while back. They came on, and he had a bunch of his gadgets and stuff, and the wife was getting kind of freaked out. And I was like, "What's wrong?" She goes, "When we put the meter next to you, it goes sky high." She goes, "We back the meter off of you, and it goes back down to like 1." And then she puts it over next to me, it goes up to like 3.5. And she goes, "There's something definitely around you." So I like, I started laughing at her. I was like, "Oh, come on, get real, Are you just trying to scare me because you're on our horror show or what?" But come to find out, I talked to other people about it, and they said, yeah, there was some kind of an energy. Have you ever heard anything about that?
Yeah, definitely. Certain people they can ping out an EMF meter. They have a stronger EMF field around them.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend that jokingly, how like Dragon Ball Z, where the person puts their hands together and they're like, "I'm creating a fireball" or whatever. He would joke about that, and somebody actually took a meter and put it in between his hands when he did it, and they actually saw it rise. They saw like an energy field when they took a thermal camera on it. Saw an energy ball forming in between his hands. I was like,
Wow.
"You got to be shitting me!"
Wow, that's awesome.
So
Yeah.
his one buddy is he was a firefighter, and they have equipment to test the fire, thermal equipment to test for fires and stuff. So they had to use the thermal camera, and he did the thing where he said he was trying to manifest a ball in between his hands, and I guess they saw it with the thermal camera, which I can't explain that. I mean, that's freaking
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, you're talking to, Celeste right here. She's a master of fire. She tries to set our camera guy on fire every week.
It's just a hobby.
Yeah, it's just a hobby. We have fun. Yeah, that's why he's definitely afraid of us.
Now, actually, would you guys like to explain a little bit more in depth about your characters that you guys play? You're Deadgar, but
Yes.
what's your inspiration of Deadgar? Is it what character are you per se trying to play? Celeste, I know, is a sorcerer or sorceress, and then
Yeah.
maybe you'd like to explain that a little more.
Well, actually, the character I play is nobody really followed the character. Nobody really followed the history of Vlad except for your people that your history enthusiasts and stuff. But Vlad actually had a family, and who I'm portraying is Vlad's son, and he was actually a evil prince. And when Vlad died, he took over, after the Turks, and he followed up doing some impalings himself until they finally got to him, but he managed to escape, and was never heard from again. So I thought, well, being that I'm a real enthusiast of Vlad and everything, Romania, Turks, I thought, well, what a perfect character. I'm a 750-year-old vampire, that lived back in the 1400s. Let's go with that. Let's make Vlad's son. And now I awoke in the 1900s, and I survived the 50s. I survived the 30s, the 50s. I survived the crazy 60s, and now I'm moving on into 20th century and stuff. And I'm trying to find my place in society. I'm a 750-year-old vampire that's trying to find my place in society. It's just not working. Me and electronics do not get along.
No, not at all.
And I formed this, I don't know if it's from sleeping in my coffin too much and wet surfaces or what, but I formed this thing on the show called CDD that the girls like to have fun with and run with, but it's considered chronic thumb disease.
Just because he's always like either fumbling with words or saying the wrong thing like accidentally, we kind of give him some crap about it.
Like,
but
yeah, we did one.
It's all lighthearted and good fun.
Yeah, we did one show where I was supposed to say lumbotomy, but I said lumbardomy instead. So
it's not lumbotomy, it's lobotomy.
Yeah, see, I did it again. But anyway, Celeste, onward to you.
So I'm Celeste Parker. I'm a sorceress. I am descended from one of the people who was killed in Salem as a witch, Mary Parker. So I'm actually not that old myself, but I have years of witch training, and I am amazing at doing magic tricks, potions, and stuff. They sometimes go a little bit wrong, but I always fix it in the end. Woo!
She did it.
He's trying to say that my potions aren't good, and I'll admit people are a little scared to drink them after they've seen how some of them have turned out, but I always make it right in the end.
Yeah, they always turn out for the good.
Yeah, so basically I was sent here by the Witches' Council originally to keep an eye on Deadgar and Victoria and the castle because they're getting a little out of hand sometimes. And it turns out that Victoria was the one that kept us in line.
Yes, yeah.
That was a funny turn of events we weren't expecting when she went on location. We were like, wow, we're going to just go crazy.
Yeah, me and Celeste kind of found out that we're like, we're like the same. We're both crazy.
Yeah, we kind of play off each other's terrible ideas and make them even worse.
Yeah, so when she's never on the show, we kind of go off the wall. It actually is some of our craziest shows. So we kind of formed a good bond that way.
Yeah, so really, now I just make sure that I give the Witches' Council a good report, and they pretty much leave us alone.
Yep.
I'm sure most people probably wouldn't ask you guys this, but I'm going to go ahead with it. Being a sorceress and so forth, do you actually believe like in the witchcraft type stuff? Have you ever practiced it or dabbled in any of that type of stuff? I'm not going to ask Deadgar about the vampire stuff because everybody kind of knows that's malarkey. You know what I mean? They already know it's kind of...
It's malarkey. Wait a second.
Well, I'm just saying for reality base. Do vampires really exist?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Vampires are actually demons, and demons do exist in this world.
Okay. I'll give you that. That works.
But with witchcraft and sorcery, I believe very strongly in energy and the power of energy. So I think thought and intention can manifest. I don't think maybe as directly as it's portrayed most of the time, but I think there's at least a little bit of fact behind that. So I think if you put a spell together with some intention behind it, maybe it's possible it could manifest. So I would say doing everything very carefully, with intention and with good intention, and not just, it's not something I would necessarily play around with. I don't, in fact, know for sure. So I wouldn't play around with it, too much other than some things that would seem harmless. But I know that the energy is supposed to come back to you, threefold or whatever it is. So, I would want to do everything with a good intention and positive energy.
Right. Positive is a good thing. Negative is bad.
Yeah. Good job, Deadgar.
Yes.
I completely follow that with all the ghost hunting stuff. I try to give respect every time I'm trying to communicate and so forth.
Yeah, that's basically, what we do. Even if we portray these characters and even if they're like more stereotypical, we try to do things that are more like on the fun, lighthearted side of things. All my potions and magic things are pretty fun,
mm-hmm. And
fun intentioned.
Yeah, and I don't portray an evil vampire. I'm more of a kind of a ditzy vampire, but I still have that blood craving, so every once in a while we do got to bring a maid on the show that I got to kill off.
Yeah, it's kind of our running themes, but, we don't we love when people approach us in public. We don't want to scare anybody ever. Yep. When kids come up to us, we try to make sure we're really nice and even if we look scary to them, sort of make sure we're approachable because we love when people come and talk to us. We don't want anyone to be scared of us.
Yes, we're the happy people. Even though we're creepy looking.
Yeah.
Is there certain things you'd like to tell anybody? through an interview or anything you guys would like to discuss?
Uh, wow. I mean, the horror host industry has been really striving for years, and ever since we've been getting internet and YouTube and stuff, you're seeing a reemergence of new horror hosts, and it's really cool to see that, because there for a while it was just like the only way you could see a horror host was on TV.
Yeah.
And now that you got the internet, like I said, there's so many good horror hosts out there that just can't get syndicated. So they got to rely on YouTube and your internet channels and stuff to get their shows out there. And I just want to give a shout out to all the horror hosts out there that are doing it.
Yeah.
Just we're plugging along, we're doing it, we're getting success, and we're telling everybody else stay the course, keep doing it.
Yeah, we do it for the love of it. And, I think a lot of people have their like local cult following, and it's being able to expand that now with the internet's great.
And have a positive energy. Treat your fans like family. The fans love. Without the fans, you're nothing.
And there's other horror hosts. We love doing events with other horror hosts that we meet. Like, we know those are our people. Like,
right.
They do obviously doing the same thing we do for the love of it. And there's a few others that we hang out with at events, and that's always a really good time.
Yeah, actually, absolutely. You got out on the East Coast, you got Count Gordevall, who also started the movie Galaxy Invaders. And now he's been doing his own horror host down on the East Coast for a very long time.
Yeah.
And he's actually, I look up to him as actually like a mentor, like I look up to Svengoolie. And he's a very nice guy.
We've done some events with Svengoolie. We've done shows with Count Gregula from Chicago.
Right.
Cindy Vicious.
Yeah, Cindy Vicious. Yeah.
She was great. She's so much fun. So, Marlena Midnight and Robin Graves.
Yes, there are another two young horror hosts that are out in Iowa that finally got on TV out in Iowa.
Yeah, we thought, we were like, that is great for them, so we really supported that.
Yeah, and they started out like us too, just struggling, and they're finally out there, and we want to we want to give a shout out to them too. We actually are going to be doing a show at the Wheaton Midnight Halloween Flea Market in at the DuPage County Fairgrounds in Wheaton, Illinois, and we're actually going to be we're actually on a celebrity guest list with Erica Alanik, who was in Baywatch, and she played Ellie Mae in Beverly Hillbillies, and she was also a Playboy model.
Yeah,
and we got the Monster Man.
She was a girl in Under Siege coming out of the cake.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yep.
And Marlena and Robin Graves are going to be out there too, so we're going to be out there hanging with them.
Yeah,
so,
from Midnight Mausoleum.
Yeah,
That's their show.
We're excited to see them finally get going. So
then, there was one thing I wanted to mention. We want to give a shout out to these bands. We would love if everyone looks up these bands that we promote. One's called Mixed Company. They're a Kenosha band, so they're local artists. We think they're really great, fun group of people. I don't know if you can see that. Mixed Company.
Yep.
Out of Kenosha, and their singer, the voice on this girl will blow you away.
Yeah.
And then we have Rat Bat Spider out of Milwaukee. They do horror punk. They do Misfits covers. I completely rock out at every show I can go to.
Yeah.
I think their music is phenomenal, and I'm like, why are people not listening to this? Like, if you don't know about it, you should.
Yeah, they're a great bunch of guys. Fantastic bunch of guys. They're like family to us.
Yep, and then there's this band Silence from Appleton.
Yeah.
They're a lot of fun. They do steampunk music, and it's really fun music. It's spelled Zilenz.
Z-E, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's spelled a little different, but it's Silence, but spelled with Z's. And, these bands, we really support them. We think they're great. We want to get them recognized. So if you can look them up, check out their music.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, one of our promoters is actually a major radio station across the country, Radio Riff.
Yeah.
L from Radio Riff. He's program director. His girlfriend actually is program director out in Minnesota, and every once in a while we'll send them some of these bands, and they'll review them and actually get them on radio. Like Rat Bat Spider right now is nationally played all across the country.
Yeah.
So Yeah, it's great. It's a struggling business. It's hard in the music industry nowadays. You got to know somebody in order to even get a contract.
Right.
And there's so many good bands out there that are struggling to make it. And that's why we're here.
We see these bands, putting out great music, playing show after show, and we're like always there to support them whenever we can. So,
Yeah.
and just really just get their name out there. We think that their music speaks for itself. We just need people to listen to it.
Yeah, we're all about music too.
You guys are able to see the chat as well, right? Somebody's asking, do you guys know Ghoultown or Wednesday 13?
Yeah. I know Wednesday 13.
Mm-hmm.
I just noticed what
I
they're.
don't know where to see the chat, but
I've heard of Ghoultown before. Yeah.
No, I think you guys are doing awesome things, and I feel honored to have you guys on here and be able to talk with you.
Yeah.
I love what you're doing. So
Actually, we feel honored to be on your show.
yeah, this is fun.
Yeah, Celeste came up to me and she's like, "Yeah, I got this radio show that we're going to be on." I was like, "Awesome, let's set it up."
Yeah.
And being that I'm so wonderful with electronics, I actually had to have her. I had to have her get our Skype running.
Yeah, just before the show we got it up. So.
I was so frustrated one night. I was like, "Celeste, I need your help. I can't get the Skype going."
Well, I mean, if I'm able to get out to you guys sometime, I'd love to, go ghost hunting and take you guys along. I think it would be a lot of fun. Be
If you can
very
get out
interesting.
We would love to film a show with you, an episode where we get some footage ghost hunting, talk to you about what you do. Yeah, if you come out to Kenosha, Wisconsin, let us know.
Yeah, not only film a show, spend a weekend with us. We'll show you some great, great entertainment out here.
Yeah, and some good places. I think there are pretty good haunted places out Kenosha, Racine area.
Kenosha is actually a very haunted town.
Yeah, Burlington as well.
Plus, we're a town also known for many celebrities. We had Orson Welles, who was born and raised in Kenosha.
Yeah.
And of course, we had the former Miss America, who went to St. Joe's High School. And we got the good old Mark Ruffalo that I spent a year in school with him.
Oh, that's cool.
So I know
Very cool.
Ruffalo's really well.
Yeah, the most notable in my area is Christopher McDonald, Shooter McGavin.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
He went to school with one of my mom's friends.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got it's a pretty talented town.
Yeah.
We've got not only a good music scene, but we also have a good theater guild. We've done there's a lot of good plays, a lot of good theater.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys could, again, give a shout-out for how people can contact you, where your channels are, your website, so forth. We only got about 10 more minutes left.
Okay. Well, Celeste, you want to give our website or whatever? Or?
Well, let's see. You can find us on Facebook.
Okay.
Deadgar J. Meyer. Phyllis forced him to change his name. They didn't think it sounded real. So he just picked a new name.
Yeah. A fake one.
Yes. And I am Celeste Parker. I'm currently maxed out on friends, but if you look up Sorceress Celeste, you can find our page. You can look up Deadgar's Dark Coffin Classics page and like us there. We'll post up there. We're also on Twitter as Sorceress Celeste and Deadgar Winter. And our YouTube channels are under Deadgar Winter and Celeste Parker. And what is the website name?
Website is you can go to deadgarwinter65.wix.com, which has some of our shows on there, and it also has our coffin page, which the coffin shop, which has our merchandise.
Yeah, if you want a T-shirt, a hat, copies of the shows, autographs, anything, you can find it there. Or come to one of our events if you can ever make it out there. We always have a table full of fun stuff. We're always trying to come up with new fun stuff there. So, if you also go into the Google search bar, you can look up Deadgar Winter. You'll find us on YouTube that way, and you'll find the website there.
Yeah.
So, and it has all our upcoming events, pictures of past events. We've had some fans send us some really awesome artwork, so we've been putting that up there. Actually, there's a children's hospital, and the kids watched our show. One of our friends down in Chattanooga, Tennessee, played our show at this children's hospital, and the kids loved it, and they made all his awesome artwork, and he got it together and sent it to us. So we're going to be putting that up there. It's really great artwork.
Yep. Yeah, it's actually at the it's a children's hospital for autistic kids. And hey,
We thought it was great. We were like, so touched that they would love our show and watch it.
yeah,
So
like I said, we're all about making people laugh and
yeah,
make people scream and cry, but we're also, we're very fond of kids.
yeah, we
Kids
love
are the
kids.
future.
When we see kids at events, we're like, we always try to have something we can hand out to the kids when we see them at events. So if they're not scared of us, they'll come talk to us. And, we love meeting people.
Yeah, we get some little stuff made like tattoos, arm
Yeah, temporary
tattoos, and
tattoos, stuff like
yeah,
that. We always try to have something to give out when we can.
yeah. We package up gummy worms and stuff like that, and the tattoos and little buttons and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, and the kids like that, and the parents when they see it, they're like, oh, these guys are okay,
Yeah.
which we are. We're just trying to let people know, hey, we're not the creepy people that you think we
Right.
are.
Now, for any business inquiries, is there an email that people would be able to contact you guys with?
Yeah, you can go to Deadgar Winter. Excuse me, it's Deadgar Winter 65
Mhm.
at hotmail.com.
And Deadgar is spelled Deadgar.
Right. And then
Yeah.
Winter.
Winter. Or just send us a Facebook message. That's one of the best ways to reach us. If you can do that, just send us a message. Twitter. I'm on Instagram as Sorceress Celeste. So, you could definitely find us and contact. He's obviously the one to talk to for most things. So contact me. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, actually, yeah, both of us. I mean, Celeste is, a major part of the show, so, contacting her be like you did. You contacted her about the radio show, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So we do things together.
Yeah,
so.
we're a package deal.
Yep.
Well, I
Except for mine.
can't thank you guys enough for coming on and answering a bunch of questions and having having the opportunity to let everybody know what you guys do.
Thank you.
You have an upcoming event. If you want to go ahead and shout that out one more time, just so everybody knows where they can find you.
Okay, we're gonna be at the Zirkle Promotions, the Wheaton Midnight Flea Market in Wheaton, Illinois, at DuPage County Fairgrounds on October 24th from 3 p.m. until midnight. This is a must-come-see show.
Yeah, these flea markets. Yeah, I mean, flea market does not even begin to describe what happens at these events, especially once the sun goes down. Things get crazy.
Yeah.
It's so much fun, and
we have a full-blown set that we actually bring down. We bring down a mausoleum, and we have fog machines running, stuff like that.
Yeah, you could find like anything there, everything.
Yeah. And you say flea market, and it's like, oh, it's okay, it's a regular flea market, but these aren't regular flea markets. We're talking celebrities.
Yeah, at the one we did in August, there was over, I think, 10,000 people that came through the door.
13,000 people to be exact.
Very cool.
And it was like, it was so great. It was good energy.
Yes.
It was a good time.
And we had, major celebrities on. We had Felix Silla, who played Cousin It in the Addams Family. He played Twiggy and Buck Rogers.
Yeah, Wednesday was there.
Yeah, Lisa Loring, who played Wednesday Addams in the Addams Family. And we had Carl Strickland.
Yeah.
Played Lurch.
Basil Gogos was
Basil
there.
Gogos, the man who started this whole thing with Monsters magazine.
Yeah, the artwork that was like so great to meet him. And then they had the original Batmobile car. So there's always something fun, celebrities and things to do. So it's a good event.
And like I said, this upcoming event, we got Erica Alanik that's going to be there, And then we got Cleve Hall who's going to be there, special effects makeup artist. Who was in Face Off and stuff.
Yeah.
We got, these flea markets are just loaded with not only good deals, but, people you can meet and talk to.
And anybody that's viewing, you can check out more shows from Deadgar and Celeste. You can check out their YouTube channels. I do have those in the description below. You can also find them on Paranormal Global TV on YouTube. Myself, Simon James, Paraghoster, helped found that. It's any shows that are upcoming and a wide variety of feature investigations plus paranormal productions and so forth. I'd also like to give a shout out for Nikki Paranormal and Jenna with a J. They have a show tonight at 10 p.m. on liveparanormal.com. You can check that out. live. It's a radio show. And then next week we will be back with Thursday night on liveparanormal.com doing live spirit frequencies, testing out different spirit box devices. Friday we will be doing our last episode with the Phasma box, testing out the Phasma box. And next Sunday we have Interview with the Ghost Hunter with Bob Christopher. I would like to thank Deadgar and Celeste very much for tuning in. And you guys have a beautiful weekend. And can't wait to actually get out there to meet you guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you too. Yeah, you're welcome. We'd love to meet you.
Yeah, stay posted. Come on out. We'll show you a good time out here.
All right. Thank you again.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.